Hello guys. So in the previous video we saw how can we add features and how can we add attributes, just the basics. Right now we will go and see how can we add features in different ways. So let's zoom to an empty area right here and we will start to see what is the other options we can create features for the points, lines and polygons. So we will create a new feature for the cities, and as you see here, here's the option, the regular one, where you can create just points anywhere you want. And the second one is creating a point at the end of a line that you draw. So you can draw a line using all these options right here, but if you draw a regular line, once you double click, the point will be added at the end of the line. And the last one here is to add a points along a line. So here it asks you that you have to select a line in order to add the points to. So for example, let's say we have a case where we have this freeway here. This is the 5 freeway. If we select the 5 freeway, it will show you the direction of the line from the start to finish, and here it will tell you how many points you want to add along the line. So if I said I want to add 10 points, it will add the 10 points equally along the line, and you can add additional point at the beginning of the line or at the end of the line. So we are not going to choose any of these two options. We will just create 10 points on the line, and you click create, and you will see that you have 10 points created equally on the line. And the second option here we have is, let's select the line first, is to create the points with equal distance that you define. So here, for example, we have our entire line is 28 miles, and we will start from the first. So in this case, for example, let's say you have a freeway and you want to make sure that you have a rest or a gas station every 3 miles. So here you use this tool to say I want to start adding points from the start, and I want to add 1 point at the beginning, and the distance between every point will be 3, and 3 will be equal to this unit you are using right here. Because we are choosing miles, this is 3 miles. So when we click create, you will see that you have a first point here, and if you measure the distance from here to here, you will see it's a 3 miles, and then 3 miles, 3 miles, 3 miles. So this one will create several points for you with equal distance that you define. Let's click Ctrl Z and come here and see here varying distance. So here what that means is you can create, let's say for example you want to make sure that you have 3 points every 2 miles and then 4 points every 5 miles. So that's, again, here you can say start from beginning and say I want every 2 miles to have 3 points, and here I want every 5 miles and I want to have 4 points. And once you click create, you will see that you have 3 points every 2 miles and then another 4 points from the last one that will be 5 miles, a difference between each one of them. So we have a 7 total right here, and this is the options we have to create points. So let's Ctrl Z and go back here again and see what is the other ways to create lines. So here, this is a regular line. You just create a regular line like we draw the freeways. Here you can create a line that each segment have a 90 degrees between the other segment. So once I click here, you will see that I have a 90 degrees with the first segment, and if I moved my mouse anywhere, you cannot move away from the 90 degrees. So if you click again, you see it's 90 degrees. So double click here, and this one here to split. So we have this one line as one single line. So if I draw another line against it and I double click, now it splitted the line for me. So if I use select, you will see that now we have 4 different lines. So this is the first one, second one, third one, and fourth one. And this is one of the good tools to use when you create a network or when you create a geometric network for your utilities. Also, this tool can be good for utilities if you have like a network that represent utilities similar to like water or electricity. You can use this tool to create a center point, and then from this center point you can create different lines in different directions. So once I click here, I have the option to create another line, another one, another one, and another one. So that represents, like we have here, for example, like a center distribution location, and every time you draw a line, it's like the way of the distribution, and every single line here is separate. So every single line have its own attributes. So the second option here is to draw a line with only 2 points. So it's a straight line. So when you create the first point, and once you click the second one, it will create the line for you. And here we have the option to create a line that looks like a circle. And this one is good if you want to create a line, but it's closed, where the first point equals the last point. You can use this one. And you can convert this one to a polygon very easy. Same thing here for rectangle. You can draw a rectangle and it will be a line, not a polygon. And you can also draw an ellipse. And here you have a freehand line where you click once and then you move your mouse however you want, and it will be a freehand. You double click to finish it. And here you have a trace, and trace is a really good tool to use. For example, if you want to create a line on the edge of a county or an edge of a city, you can use trace to, once you click here on this polygon, you will see that my line is drawn tracing the edges of this polygon right here. And once you double click, it will finish. And you can trace along a line, like for example, if I click here, I will draw my new line along this line. And here we have stream, and stream is really one of the good tools to draw a freehand but give you the ability to move your mouse anywhere else. So for example, in ArcMap, when you use freehand, you cannot pan and you cannot move your mouse till you finish your drawing. But here when you use a stream, once you click once, you have a freehand, and when you click again, now you can move your mouse anywhere, and you can actually do pan, and you can do zoom in or zoom out, or move your mouse anywhere, and then you click again to continue drawing. The other good thing with the stream or any other tool, that you can mix and match between them. So here I'm using stream, but in the same time I can come here and I say I want to use trace, and I move my mouse all the way here, and once I click here on this line, I will be able to trace around this line. So you can mix and match between your tools however you want, or you can go back to stream and it will give you the ability to change your line. So here to double click to finish it. And that's all the options for how you can draw a line. Here also the options to draw polygons. And here the regular drawing polygon we have. So let's go down here a little bit. So this is the regular way to draw a polygon. So this is the regular one as we used to draw the counties. This is the autocomplete polygon, and we saw how this works. You start from a place and you go into your polygon inside another polygon, and it will match the edges with the existing polygon. Here you draw a polygon with 90 degrees edges, like how we saw on the line. And as you see here right now, all the edges have 90 degrees. Here you can draw a polygon by a circle and rectangle, and here ellipse. And ellipse, you click once to define the center, and then you click one more again to define the width, and then you click anywhere to define the height. And here a freehand polygon. And same thing, you can mix and match between these tools. And here the freehand autocomplete, like we used to draw the cities, and as you see here it will match the edges. And here trace, so I can for example, trace is really good tool to use with the polygon. So let's say I have here this polygon right here. Let's delete it, and I want to draw a polygon inside of here, but I want to make sure that all the edges is connected. So I'm gonna use trace for this, and I'm gonna select this one. And as you see, once I move my mouse, I'm actually tracing the edges without me doing anything else. So it automatically match everything. And once I double click where I want to end my tracing, I have my polygon matching the edges of the other polygons. And go back here. And here you have a stream as well for the polygon, so you can draw a freehand polygon and you click again and you move your mouse freely, and you can continue your streaming and double click on it to finish it. And here this option here is to create structure, and it only works if you have defense license. I don't know how it works and I never used it before, but it requires a defense mapping extensions license in order for you to use it. And same thing for the last option here, it only works with the defense mapping license. So this is how you can draw lines points, polygons in different ways. Also, one of the things that I want to show you, when you are drawing any feature, you can right click before you finish it and you will have so many options here. So let's check what this option does. Here you have a snap to features, which is the snapping that we know, but you can enable or disable the snapping while you are drawing. Here you can define the direction for your line, the last part of your drawing. So here, for example, this is the direction. If we click enter, you will see that I cannot move my mouse anywhere else other than this direction. So you can define the direction based on north, east, south, west, and what is the value for each one of them. Right click again and see here deflection, and deflection will create an angle for your line. So let's say, for example, here I make it 180, so enter, and as you see here, it created a 180 degree from the direction of the line to continue my polygon. So I'm gonna press escape to cancel this option. Right click here, absolute X and Y. So the next vertex you will draw, you can add X, Y, and Z for it to be in a certain location. So for example, if you are drawing parcels and you have survey data, instead of you drawing the polygon vertex by vertex, maybe you want to use this X and Y data from the survey to make sure that each vertex of the polygon or each edge of the polygon is in the right location based on the X, Y, and Z. Same thing for the delta. And here you can define the direction and distance in the same time, not only the direction. Here you can define the direction only, but here you can define the direction and the distance. And here you have an option to create an arc. So if you click on this one, you will see that you have an options to enter like the radius, the arc length, and the tangent direction. And all these options you will add it in order to create an arc for your segment or part of the polygon that you are drawing right now. And here we have the spiral curve, which will go on to create a curve that you give it a start radius and an end radius, and you give it an angle as well. Right click here, and after that you have an option to draw parallel to some other features. So that's a good feature. For example, if you want, let's say I want to continue my drawing to be in parallel with this polygon. So let's stop this polygon and draw another one here. I'm drawing this one here, but I want to make sure that the next line I draw right now is in parallel with this one. And this works really good with parcels. So right now, in order for me to draw this side of the polygon matching or parallel to this side, I need to come on the edge that I want it to be parallel with, and I right click and I say parallel to this one, and as you see right now, it will be parallel to this one right here. And I can click and I can say also right click here on the same line, and I can say perpendicular, and now I'm sure that my parcel, that the one that I'm drawing right now, matching the edges and the angles of this one I have on the top right here. So when I double click here, I'm sure that this edge here is in parallel with this one, and this one here is perpendicular with this one as well. And also the other option we have here is you can draw a polygon or a line, and then when you right click here, instead of doing parallel or perpendicular, you can define the angle you want your line to be according to the other one. So here, for example, if I said here 90 degrees and I said enter, it will either be 90 degrees to this one or this one. Or I can right click and say I want it to be 25 degrees. And as you see, it will be 25 degrees this direction or to this direction from this line right here. And here you can click, and now you are sure that this line draw with 25 degrees from this line. So let's draw another polygon and see what else we have. So here we have, let's right click, we have replace a sketch, and replace a sketch will allow you to move from drawing a certain sketch to draw another one. So if I click this one, you see that now I have the ability to edit this one. If I right click here and say replace a sketch, it's gonna be the same one, but I can go to any polygon and I just right click and say replace a sketch, and it will give me the ability to edit this one instead of this one. So let's press escape to cancel this. So let's see what else we have. Right click, we have streaming, so you can continue do the streaming right from here. Instead of going here and select streaming, you can just do it here and you will continue streaming. And once you click, you can come here and disable the streaming and you will go back to your normal drawing, and you can switch between them from here or from here. It's totally up to you, and you can double click to finish your drawing. Other options we have is cancel. You can cancel the sketch you are doing, similar to this one, and you can also finish, and finish will do it exactly like the one below here. So I can click finish. And also we have right click and you have square and finish, and that will mean make it square and finish it. And as you see here, I didn't have to add the last point, I just added 3 and I said right click, square and finish. It created a square for me. And here also, if I right click here, the last option is finish part, and finish part is used if you are using drawing several pieces that is connected to each other. You can use finish part to finish this part and then draw this one. They are not connected in the feature, they are separate. They look to you like they are two separate features, but actually they have the same attribute table, and whenever you select one, you automatically select the other one. So for example, if you are drawing a country and this country have islands next to it, you cannot draw the island or the feature of the island connected to this feature. So what you do is when you draw the country, you right click and say finish part, and then you draw the island separately. Also, there is another way to do this merge, and we are going to see it in the next videos. But right now, if you are doing your drawings from the beginning, now you know how we can do separate features, but both of them have the same attributes and connected to each other. So that's the options for the polygons. For the lines, you will have the same options when you are drawing. Here, the same exact options. For the points, you have a very limited options because when you draw a point, it's just X and Y. So as you see, if I right click here, you will see snap to feature or add XYZ for this point. One of the other things is that when you draw a rectangle or ellipse or circle, you can actually, when you draw it, you can right click, select add radius, or select absolute X, Y, or Z, so you can add the X, Y, and Z if you are working on 3D for this specific circle. If you right click again, you will see here the option to create a circle using 3 points. So I click once and then I define the radius, but if I click 1 time, 2 times, and then I can create my circle based on this 2 lines. So I'm gonna press escape to cancel that. And that's it for all the options you can use to draw new features. The last thing I want to show you in this video, that when you have your select tool, if you have one feature selected, you can actually right click on it, you can say copy, and then you can right click anywhere and you say paste, and you will paste it on top of it, and you can select move and you can move it anywhere. So this is the way to do copy. Also, there's another way to do copy is by clicking here. So if I select this one, I can copy and then paste, or I can just Control C and Control V and it will copy and paste it for me. So you can right click, copy and paste. You can copy paste from here, and you can cut from here as well, or you can Control X or Control C or Control V to cut, copy and paste. So let's delete this one. The other options we have here, after you select a feature, you can right click on it and say delete. And also you can select explore, and instead of you going back to the map and say I want to use the pan and zoom out and zoom in, you can be on the edit, having your select tool or any other tool, and that's the way you can move to pan, zoom in or zoom out right from here. Much easier for you. Here, what's here, it will give you an address for the location where you're at, if there is a locator or geocoding service in your place, something like Google Earth. In Google Earth, if you right click anywhere and you say what's here or what is the location, it will give you the X and Y or the lat and long or the address or the places in the place where you right click. So here it's not going to give me anything because there's no geocoding. If there's geocoding, it will give me the address for this location, and we will see that when we create a locator later. And here you have select features. We already have the select features, but let's say you have the explore and you want to switch to select. Instead of switching between these two tabs, you can just right click anytime and say select features, and you select this one. You can right click again and say select all in this layer. So this one will select all the features inside the layer you selected. So we are selecting the polygon that match Orange County cities. If I select all in layer, it will select all the features inside Orange County cities. Let's clear, select and right click again. Here, zoom to selection. If you are somewhere else, you can right click. So for example, if I'm here, I can right click and say zoom to selection, and it will zoom to the selected polygon I have right here. I can also right click anywhere and say pan to selection. It will pan and put my selected features in the middle. And also here I can say clear selection, and instead of going all the way up. So there's just an options to make it easier for you. And here you have the move, rotate, scale, the same way you have it from here or at the bottom when you do editing. And also you have the option to do edit vertices directly from here, and instead of going to the edit features and open the edit vertices from here, you can right click and say edit vertices, and you will be able to edit your vertices from here. And the last thing is attributes, and it will open the attribute window for you. Also, when you right click here, because we are selecting edit vertices, you see that you have easy access to these tools, which is add vertex, remove vertex, or complete drawing. And these tools, we will see what it does in the next video, but you have easy access for all these things right here by right click and choose what you want. So that's it for this video. Just showed you how you can add more features in a different way, and also what the right click does when you have your polygons, lines, and points. And also when you have nothing on the map, you can right click and switch between selecting features and explore at any time on the map. So that's it for this video, and in the next video and the one after, we will do more editing, and we will see what can we do with all these tools right here. So we'll see you in the next video. Thanks.